Port Townsend, Washington State. Port Townsend is a beautiful little city on the northeast tip of the Olympic Peninsula, some 40 miles north of Seattle. Originally named Port Townsend by Captain George Vancouver for his childhood nanny, the Nympho of Shend, in 1792, the official settlement of the city took place on August 24th of April, 1851. There's a little-known part of Port Townsend history which involves a man by the name of Victor Smith. In 1861, President Lincoln appointed this man, a newspaper editor from Cincinnati, Ohio, as collector of customs for the district of Puget Sound. However, when Smith arrived, he immediately took a dislike to Port Townsend, thinking it no more than a city of huts populated by uncouth Westerners. If you think this guy sounds like a douchebag, you might be right. Not only did this guy embezzle $15,000 from the Customs House, he lobbied in Congress to have the Customs House moved from Port Townsend northward to Port Angeles. When he got back from lobbying in Washington, the acting customs officer refused to allow him access to the Customs House because he stole $15,000. So what does he do? Of course, he levels the 3 cannons of his boat at the Customs House and forces them to hand over the incriminating records. Then he goes to Port Angeles and builds a new Customs House, which was washed away in a flood about a year later. There is, of course, a lot more to the story. All I can say is Google is your friend, and I am not a historian. Today, Port Townsend boasts a wealth of wonderful arts and activities. There's the Wooden Boat Festival, an annual blues and jazz festival, and a kinetic sculpture race, where a bunch of people ride all sorts of crazy contraptions. This is, of course, way more popular than the previous incarnation, the static sculpture race. Good call, Port Townsend. If you want to dance, rock, or at the very least, correct our historical knowledge, come down to the Highway 20 Roadhouse at 9 p.m. on February 26th, 2011. We'll be there, waiting.